in a movie theater.
Austin,
Yeah?
you really like this movie or the fans will think you're angry.
I don't know if I can lie, just so people won't be angry.
But you must. Fans will get angry and they will rip you apart, so your body will crumble like a turd in the wind.
But I don't want.
Don't you backsass me.
What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. I just watched generic anti-hero movie. Thank you guys so much for watching my review of A Star is Born last night. Today we're talking Venom, a movie I have been excited for, but at the same time hesitant because of some of the marketing. You guys ever had like two different emotions and you don't know which one is which? Do I sound like a crazy person? If you guys don't know how my reviews work, I like to talk about the good, the bad, and then give you my score. Don't turn away just because of the joke at the beginning, because honestly, I have some thoughts here that you guys might not be expecting, so let's get right into this review. So when Eddie Brock acquires the powers of a symbiote, he will have to release his alter ego Venom to save his life. Now this movie, things that I really love about it, it's going to be difficult to talk about without talking spoilers, so you know what, there's a chance I am doing a spoiler review either tomorrow evening or Saturday morning, so be on the lookout for that. But let's talk about this as non-spoilery as possible, and we're in the good, so I'm going to talk about Tom Hardy. You guys expected that. The guy is a fantastic actor, top-notch, one of the best in the business, and I knew he would be good for this character. I just didn't really know how good. And this is one of the reasons why this movie might work better for me than it will some other people, is because Tom Hardy and his relationship with not one of the human characters but Venom is definitively, absolutely, 100% the best part of the movie. Some of it was a little off tone with the rest of the film, but we'll talk about the filmmaking a little bit later because it's a big part of my negatives. But when we were talking about that relationship and the way that they interacted, whether it's the comedy or the really dark aspects, I loved everything about it. I'm not gonna say everything because some of it pushed limits at times, and I'm not talking about edgy limits because that's what we want from Venom. I'm just talking about it got a little cheesy. At points it felt like a early 2000s or even a 90s like action superhero movie, one that we would have been used to back then, but today things have changed. We have moved past that, but Venom clearly hasn't. Okay, Austin, stay with the positives. Another positive that I had that I didn't expect to have going in is the cinematography. Now, Austin, okay, we're not judging that. We're not gonna be an artsy-fartsy critic here. We're gonna judge the comic book characters. No, I can talk about the cinematography because it was actually really well done, and then I looked up the guy that did it. It's the same person who did A Star is Born. I started to notice similarities, and I'm like, yeah, I should have thought of that, but I didn't. It's really well done. Like I said, the relationship was interesting, and it worked for me more than anything else in the film, and there were also moments of humor that I don't know were meant to be humorous, but they were, and it had the audience laughing. Once again, I don't know if we were supposed to laugh, but I was laughing, therefore I can say it's a positive because entertainment, right? How do we feel about the movie walking out of it? That's the biggest thing, and I've started to realize that more lately is, okay, you can do this really well, and you can do this really poorly, but how does the movie make me feel? And I will say, at times, I was entertained. And just the fact that we are seeing Venom how Venom is meant to be seen on screen, and I mean that by we have seen him once in Spider-Man 3, wasn't very well done. They made some odd choices with that character, and they definitely made some odd choices with this character, but I'm just talking visually, and sure, the CGI wasn't the best that I've ever seen, but seeing Venom jump like he's supposed to jump and fight like he's supposed to fight, I would have liked to have seen an R rating with this movie. I think that would have helped it. I don't know why they didn't do it because you see it in Logan, you see it in Deadpool. Why didn't you do it, Venom? We'll save the negatives for later. But seeing Venom portrayed by Tom Hardy, I thought that was great. I love him as Venom, and that's why I don't want this movie to fail at the box office, because I want to see more of him, and I want to see him do the whole thing with Spider-Man and be like, oh, Spider-Man, I'm Venom, and that'd be cool. That'd be nice. Then we get into the negatives, and I just mentioned Spider-Man, and I know a lot of you guys haven't read the comics, but from what I've seen from Venom, he works best when he is associated with Spider-Man. And sure, this is a movie. They can change things up. That's exactly what they are supposed to do. But to me, Spider-Man is an integral part of this character. They took that away, and it just felt to me like they were scrambling, trying to figure out what to do to make this character interesting. And you can also see that in the runtime. Sure, the movie says it's an hour and 50 minutes, but apparently the credits are the longest in history because this this thing was like 130, 135 tops. I don't think that's how long it should have been. I think it should have been a little bit longer, but not this particular story, because that means they would have had to cram more than they already did, which was kind of convoluted. I just don't understand how you make a simple premise so convoluted and chocked full of things that you don't care about. Just so you know, minor spoiler warning if you care, but Venom does not show up at the movie until like 30 or 35 minutes. Sure, I love Tom Hardy, I love seeing the guy act, but I don't care about all of these side plots. And I love Riz Ahmed. I think he's a fantastic actor. Everything I've seen him in, I've loved him in, except for this role. This was just the most basic and generic villain, and I said it before, I'm gonna say it again, this movie belongs in the early 2000s, but this villain especially. And I know the MCU movies don't do villains well, but my goodness, this thing is even worse than some of those villains, and that's not good. And I always talk about this. I love when a movie can balance tone so well. Sure, you can have humor in something that's supposed to be serious, but make sure you don't go from one thing to another and just give me these hard cuts. Venom does that, and it does that more than I wanted it to do that, because I was enjoying this particular scene, right? I'm sitting there, I'm getting a kick out of it, and then all of a sudden they either go from comedic to dark, or dark to comedic, or one thing to another, and I'm just like, can we pick a tone? Can we stick to it? And can we make this story a bit more interesting? Because this story, it's generic, it's something we have seen before. I said this about A Star Is Born. I think that movie's fantastic. It's a story that we have seen before, right? Maybe I shouldn't compare these two things because of the whole thing going on Twitter right now, but you know what? I'm doing it anyway. But A Star Is Born took a lazy premise and made it exciting. They brought all of these filmmaking elements to it, great characters, great dialogue, all of this stuff that makes us want to go out and see a movie. But Venom, it took that lazy premise and it just said, here you go. I mean, yeah, you got Tom Hardy, yeah, you got Michelle Williams, but she didn't do anything. Her character was completely wasted. She was there. She didn't get to work her acting chops, and that woman can act the lights out. And then the one-liners, what was up with some of the one-liners straight out of an 80s action movie? I didn't want this thing to be cheesy. I wanted to be super serious. Venom is a super crazy, insane, I'm gonna bite your head off character. Sure, the conversations between Eddie Brock and Venom can be comedic at times, but not the entire movie. And then some of these scenes, some of the dialogue, and the one-liners. They could have done a lot better than they did. They could have done better with this entire movie, and that's the thing that kills me the most is this, it had so much going for it. You had the great characters, you had the great actors in there, and some decent scenes at times, and some really cool action. You just couldn't bring it together as a completely cohesive film, and that is why I am going to give Venom a 54%, right? I'm not going super low because I don't think the thing's terrible. I just thought it was like, okay, I might watch it again. It might be a guilty pleasure for me because I would watch this again, because there is entertainment to be had. It's just a very choppy and just kind of meh film. So what did you guys think of Venom? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of the review? Have I offended somebody? Because surely I will. According to somebody in my comment section yesterday, I love Satan. Now seriously, go read that comment. Thank you guys though, seriously, all of you guys who always comment and say all of these wonderful things, not just about me, but about the movies. I love starting conversations. I love talking about films. Even if I didn't love Venom, I still want to know, how did you feel about it? Thank you so much for watching this video. Please go check out MovieBabbleReviews.com. They are always putting out awesome stuff, and I love reading their website. And this weekend, I have so many videos coming out. Be sure to stay tuned to this channel. Turn on that notification button. You guys are the absolute best. I just knocked over my microphone almost, and I'll catch you later.